70,000 Tons of Metal interviews continue. This time you get a sneak peek into the unbelievably brilliant mind of Devin Townsend. Phil got an opportunity to catch up with him on 70,000 Tons of Metal, and Phil aptly described it like meeting a monk. Devin Townsend was at peace, although he was crushing it on stage, playing some heavy stuff he hadn't played in years live. He is completely at peace, and just you can tell he's constantly thinking about something new, experimenting and trying new stuff. It was great to see him live, something I never really thought I'd get a chance to do. And I love this interview, and I hope you feel the same way. So great job, Phil. Great job, Devin. Thank you so much for your time, and we will catch you on the backside.
Well, hello, listeners. This is Phil Collins. I'm talking to the great Devin Townsend, and I'm going to interview him about 70,000 Tons of Metal. It's a great pleasure to sit here with him. The man, the myth, the legend. Okay, tell me about 70,000 Tons of Metal. How did you get involved with this?
I got asked about it originally, and I had said no to it just because it was so close to Christmas, and it was, I had just finished a tour, and NAMM is next week. But part of the work I feel I'm doing this year, or that I want to do this year, is to sort of dig into a whole bunch of different aspects of live performance, and one of which is playing heavier stuff again. The tour I just finished in Europe was like more progressive, and there's 10 people on stage.
Sure.
But I wanted to do like some metal too. And so this seemed like a really good sort of bursting of the cherry, so to speak.
Definitely.
Because it's a confined area, and you're surrounded by it, and you can't really run from it.
Can't avoid it.
Yeah. And I think that fastest way out is through, typically.
No doubt. That's funny you say that, because I was thinking about how, like Strapping Young Lad, I don't know how often you still play stuff from Strapping Young Lad.
This is the first time I did it in 15 years.
That's amazing, because it's so funny, because when I saw your show, which was amazing.
Yeah, we've only played for 2 days. We've only known each other for 2 days, this band.
I wasn't sure if that was tongue-in-cheek.
No,
I was like,
no,
wow.
It's only been 2 days. But
you guys sounded amazing.
Yeah, it was good. I think so, too.
But I noticed you played Aftermath, if I'm correct.
Correct.
And I was like, I was so happy you played that, because that seems like one of those songs where in the studio it sounds great, but live it's just a jammer. I mean, it was, oh God, I wanted to mosh so bad to that. I did a little bit. I got thrown around.
No, I think it's good, and I think, even what I was trying to say on stage as well is it's like, I didn't want to put Strapping back together because my objectives are to play all the stuff that I do, and I don't want to be limited by anything. Mm-hmm. And so I chose people that I knew were really proficient, and I could say, okay, I just want to play perfect. And the community that has allowed me to do what I do, like all that stuff, all musical theater and new age stuff and everything that I do, is a direct result of my affiliation with heavy music. So I kind of felt like it would be a nice gesture to do this stuff again, not only for the audience, but also for me, and also for the sake of me making peace with myself in some sense. I denied it for years, right?
Right. Yeah. And I noticed, I saw a quote from an interview you did at one point regarding Strapping Young Lad and heavy music, and it was an outlet to freak out. Yeah. And I was wondering about, since then, it seems like you've done a lot of progressive stuff, and I was like, do you still feel that urge to quote-unquote freak out? It's kind of passed you a little bit.
But what's interesting about it is even playing it last night, I was like, oh, I can do this. I can be disciplined with this. You know what I mean? I can be focused with this, and to do that is much more in line with where I am now. Like, I just, I'm almost 50. I got kids. It's like freaking out is going to do me no good now about anything.
Get your blood pressure up for no reason.
Yeah, even that, man. It's like it doesn't solve anything.
Right.
As an adult, as a middle-aged man now, man, I know that like freaking out doesn't do shit. But to sort of keep myself focused and keep myself, together, I can get a lot done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same with the music.
Is there a reason that you chose, like, is there specific songs that you chose? Like, did you go at random with Strapping and all that stuff, or
kind of? I mean, this set was something that I only had a very short amount of time to sort of throw together. Mm-hmm. But I considered some of the songs in light of also playing them on the festival run in the summer. So it sort of gives me an opportunity to feel them out again.
Definitely.
And then other ones, I just kind of took them at random.
Right. Okay. Cool. Because I thought Aftermath was such a cool selection. I was so happy I got to see that live.
Yeah, me too, man. And we're playing tomorrow night. And unfortunately, when we first started last night, half of the PA was still off. So by the time we're up there playing it tomorrow, hopefully it'll be done accurately.
Have you gotten a chance to see some shows here that you like, or?
I mean, I love playing heavy music, and I love that it's a part of my vocabulary. But I'm not particularly interested in watching it.
Yeah.
And that's no like diss towards metal bands. I'm in a different place, right?
That's totally cool. Yeah.
I stay in my room and I listen to hippie music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your new album, I've had a chance to listen to some of that. I think that's a wild sound, but it's like so eclectic.
Yeah.
But it's so focused at the same time.
Yeah.
What was it like recording that? Is there like how'd you feel about making that? Did you know it was going to be good?
No, but I also know that just typically in the past, it's like it ends up being right, whether or not it ends up being good, if I'm sort of honest with myself along the way, right? And I think Empath was really about midlife, like 48 years old and all this. I think that maybe on some level I was kind of unsure about my past or unsure about who I was in the past. But I started thinking as I hit midlife, I'm like, well, that's not doing me any good. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to sort of put my mind to this and figure out what's the problem here.
Right.
And so Empath, the eclectic nature of it is to do with the fact that I've been through so many different phases in my career and in my life that if I really stop and try and analyze my past, there is going to be a lot of different things, which is where that sort of eclectic nature comes from. But the focus comes from the fact that it was done, that was my intention. It wasn't like a random thing.
Seems to be a lot of themes of some of creation, spirituality.
Sure.
Human empathy, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
well, and also, I think a lot of those play into the overarching thing because, I mean, we've all got our own questions and proclivities that I guess go down those avenues that you just mentioned. But that aside, I think that the whole point I was trying to make with Empath is just, life is really difficult, and it's very, in order to see the good in it, you have to not be consciously blind to the bad parts about it. And I guess just don't give up was the whole purpose of it. I lost some friends to depression, and I've gone through it, and I know a lot of people who've gone through it, and it's more prevalent now than it's ever been, right? So the overarching theme with Empath, beyond any of this sort of spiritual or new agey noodlings, because I don't know what's up, man. I just kind of shoot from the hip and just,
totally.
But I think more than that, it's just like, okay, all that shit aside, like, if somebody doesn't give up, then that helps other people, make that same decision.
Absolutely. It seems like maybe a therapeutic record in a way.
Very much. Well, for me, certainly. And all I can hope is that it maybe rings true for others in a similar way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there any songs in particular that you like playing live from Empath?
From Empath? I haven't played a lot of it live. I liked Evermore. That was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It's got a cool sort of beefy riff.
Sweet.
But a lot of Empath is like really, like you say, eclectic, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to play.
It does seem like it would be a little challenging.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, we're getting, okay. Well, I guess we're getting
You're getting the boot because
the wrap-up signal here.
I got so many in a row today.
I know.
It sucks.
I very much appreciate your time.
No, man. It sucks that we just can't do more, but
that's fine.
I appreciate your patience, man. Thank you.
There you have it, folks. Direct from the source. Devin Townsend, a legend, living legend. Guy's been doing it for so many years, just crushing it, always pushing the envelope, doing new stuff, making waves and experimenting. And I think he even described it during his first show that we saw on the 2020 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise. He said, "Thank you for supporting me and allowing me to experiment with music for all these years." And we've been the wonderful beneficiaries of his experimentation. So Devin, thank you so much. Phil, great job. And until next time, this is the Great Heavy Music Podcast.